Welcome back to Clancy's Incredible Crab Cannon.
Explosion extraordinaire.
You gotta have that essence.
But you gotta get
Alliteration.
your Sam Elliott voice there. What you talking about them crabs in that cannon? We're gonna take it way deep in the south.
Oh no, accents?
You're informing more of what I want to cook when I'm down in Maryland. I might do, no, not a low country boil because I don't know how to do that, and that sounds like too much effort.
A low country boil,
If you haven't had it, it's
like
good.
like a crawfish boil kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I want
I've had
that, but
those.
I don't want to cook it. So
Those
No,
are
it's the
good.
easiest cook because you literally just take potatoes and onions and lemons and fucking shellfish and just throw it in a giant pot and let it simmer while you drink beer and stir it with
let
a
me look at the
paddle.
recipe real quick and see.
Like that's literally all you have to do.
Those are all of my values.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm like, you're gonna want to do that probably.
Yeah, that's fair. Like any kind of cooking I can do while drinking
Yeah,
is the best cooking.
and that's exactly.
And
what
I'm
it
enforcing
is.
this on everyone that I teach to cook or cook with. I'm like, we have a very strict kitchen. You need to be drinking. There needs to be music, and you need to move.
Oh yeah.
That's the one thing I miss about when I worked at Sonic a few years back is that there was always music on. We were just chilling.
Yeah, that's the secret. You gotta
Like
have
when it wasn't a rush, we were all just chilling and hanging fun. Unless the mean manager was there, then we couldn't have fun.
Yeah, well,
Be
if
manager.
you got time to lead, you got time to clean. Get your ass on a mop there, Maury.
Oh, I made that manager pay so much.
To the kennels.
I was.
Oh,
If you want to diggity doggity,
this sounds terrible.
they've got dogs. The dogs can smell ye.
Justice. Wait, the dog's that's a
You
name
might
for
be
a
able to-
dog.
You might be able to avoid these doggery doos. See how they smell ye?
Yeah.
You just have to keep your distance. You might be able to go up on pipes. If you don't like killing dogs. Like anyone.
I don't. I mean, I will if I have to. Because there's just video game dogs.
Go past. I don't want you to kill Justice.
Ooh. They're weird looking dogs.
Yeah, they
too.
didn't
Look
they
at them.
didn't
Kinda
even like they didn't spare the dogs in this game either.
Like aardvarks.
like aardvark.
No.
Like they're like real like
Weimaraners, kinda.
arrow like I guess you'd say.
Yeah. Pointers.
Ooh.
But yeah, so what ended up happening was, I don't know if you know this about me, but I bought 10,000 googly eyes.
Yep.
Like so, and the reason is it's just good economics because I was looking at buying googly eyes, and you could buy 1,000 googly eyes for like $30, right?
Right.
And they're all self-adhering, so you peel the little sticker off and you can stick them anywhere. But then we saw you can get 10,000 self-adhering googly eyes for an extra $10.
Okay, yeah, that is good economics.
And I went, wait. If you get 9,000 googly eyes for $10, I have to go in on this. So I bought it. We have a barrel of googly eyes in our apartment, right?
Right.
So whenever people come by, I always take just a fistful and just like throw it in their bag without telling them.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, so you get it like herpes. If you visit this place, you're walking out with a shit ton of fucking googly eyes, which is great because I give them to everyone and they willingly stick them everywhere. But for that, if you've got time to lean, you've got time to clean manager at GameStop, I gave every employee there googly eyes. So
Just
every
hundreds of
game
googly
case,
eyes.
every display, like everything in that GameStop. Like that GameStop went out of business and is closed now, and I know for a fact there's still googly eyes in that abandoned building. Like that will outlast his legacy, and that's my legacy. And I would also do this as a substitute teacher.
Oh,
I
nice.
would go in. I wouldn't put googly eyes anywhere, but I would leave googly eyes everywhere. So there was a plague of googly eyes in the school I substituted at. They would end up on the phones. They would end up on the staplers. They were just everywhere.
Okay, I saw a thing why these guys are surviving your arrows. Their mask blocks it, so don't shoot them in the face.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that too.
So you gotta sneak up and give them the old butt stab.
At the Sonic, the way we got back at the manager was we let the other managers wreak havoc, because the managers were worse than any of the employees. We had this manager.
That's how it works.
We had this manager called Hector, and he did by far more damage than any of the employees ever did.
Right.
And Hector was the cool manager. Like if you're on a shift and Hector's the manager, you're chilling. But Hector would get like angry when it was a rush. And so I remember.
Oh, you can't lose your cool.
I remember one time we were in the middle of a rush and somebody. You can call in the order at a Sonic, which is one of the weirdest things I've ever heard. Because the whole point is that Sonic's supposed to be fast, but some people are like, it's not quick enough, so let me call in beforehand and order. And someone did, and they ordered like 8 chili dogs. An hour passes.
My kind of people.
They don't come pick up these chili dogs. Another hour passes, and then Hector flips. It's like, we made 8 chili dogs for these people who ain't gonna show up, and he just chucked one at the front door. And for the rest of the day, there was just a smeared chili dog all over that door, because no one was gonna clean that thing.
You know, I need to ask, between the relationship with Sonics and chili dogs, is there an official tie between them and Sonic the Hedgehog's love of chili dogs?
There is none.
The Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon.
There is no tie.
series.
There was no Sonic promotions. There was no Sonic memorabilia. I think it is just a coincidence.
Coincidence. It's just
That
pure
is
happenstance.
horrendous. Thank you. I needed to know from the source.
Yes, the source. As someone who worked just at one chain.
As
Well,
the
you would
fry
know.
cook of Sonics from
I
the
worked
years of
as a
2000
car hop,
2000.
and
He
I
was
worked as
initiated
a
into
fountain.
And initiate in the lower mysteries of Sonics.
The fountain would be the job to have, man. Just slinging the fucking soda.
Oh
all
yeah,
day.
the fountain's great. I got paid more than the car hops, and I just dealt with drinks.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But the thing about the fountain is that anytime, like, because the car hops, they took out the orders and all that, and then they would clean the front and stock the shelves in the front, but everything behind was the job of the fountain and the cooks. And I just had bad luck because I got put on shifts with lazy cooks, so there'd be times where I'd be stocking the entire back of the store by myself.
Ugh.
And like as a fountain, I have to deal with the drinks anyway. So like I'd have to like put those big old like box drinks on their shelves, and then like connect the hoses and all that crap.
The big boxes of syrup and
Yeah.
stuff. And changing out like CO2 canisters,
Doing
and
all that
shit.
crap.
It's such a pain in the ass.
And then taking out all the boxes. Like I've never seen so many boxes in my life compared to when I worked at Sonic.
Yeah.
And like I had to go in the
That's
freezer
right.
too a lot. There was one night where I literally caught a cold because of how many times I had to go into the freezer.
Oh. See, at GameStop, we just got to throw out all the old.
And like
cardboard
I started
standees and all the
bringing
googly
gloves
eyes
to
that people
Sonic
stuck to 'em.
because one time my hands went completely numb. I was like, nope, done. I'm bringing gloves now. You want me to go into the freezer?
You gotta
Fine,
hide.
I'm wearing my gloves.
Oh, you could poison him, or you could brand him as a heretic and get him cast out of the church.
Ooh, so do I poison Campbell or the other guy?
Well, I guess you could poison everyone. That seems
Oh,
like
the
your
poison.
thing.
So the poison is on the other guy's side, so I could poison it to Campbell's, or
Yes.
poison both of them.
I think you can also just smash the glasses so they don't get to enjoy a drink.
Just spill the glasses.
Yeah, that's the one.
So
And then they'll like, oh, how disappointing. And then you can grab the high overseer and stick him in the branding chair so he gets branded as an excommunicated heretic so no one can talk to him.
yeah, let's try that.
Boop, go hide.
So I guess I failed the optional one now because I smashed the glasses.
What other crap went down on my Sonic?
I think that's just how they track ones you can and can't do.
I'm just trying to remember all that happened. If there was any drama, it was either because of Hector or Hector knew what was the reason for the drama. And I remember one day Hector brought a taser and said, and he looked at me. He's like, "Will you let me tase you?" I'm like, "No, no."
Absolutely
And he said,
not.
"But how about a bet?" And I was like, "Oh, now we're going." And so I let him tase me for $5 because I was stupid. And it was like a pin taser, so I didn't really care, and it didn't hurt much. It made me realize that if you ever get a taser, for the love of God, don't get a pin taser. It does nothing. It's a mild inconvenience.
Yeah.
It sounds like just a toy. For
Yeah, it's a toy. Like you, at most, you'll get a small burn.
Ugh.
Yeah, taser it isn't a whole lot. People fucking you make a big deal out of it for stuff, but it's not that big.
Like
of a deal,
get
usually.
pepper spray.
The
that's
liquid
actually
taser, or like with the hand, that's a different story. Like with the little box taser that comes out from like cops and stuff isn't all that badass.
Well, Hector didn't even have that much. He just had like a little pin cap taser, so it was even less.
I don't know why they all. Oh, they found all of the dead bodies.
All the
you
dead
made.
bodies.
You gotta knock some people out.
Yeah, I'll knock this guy out.
And I did remember that they once had a fry cook
Give him the
who
dirt.
was like he was like
Oh, okay.
19.
Oh, I failed that. Okay, supposed to spare him.
He was the one the overseer was gonna catch. Okay.
So, well, there that goes. Hey, we're talking about crabs and stuff. I missed what I was supposed to do here.
But yeah, there was a fry
fine.
cook who literally just did not do his job. He would work for like maybe an hour and then walk out and just disappear. Whether it be smoking or something
Lucky
else.
guy.
And it took him about like a week to get fired. I'm like, and that's one of the instances in my life like that taught me that older people are not more responsible in any means.
Right.
No, older people like they just like the weird ones get weirder and the like responsible ones get more responsible.
Like I was like 15,
Right.
I think 15 and 14 when I worked there. No, 15, 16 is when I worked there. And I was like, oh man, these guys are older than me, so they must be more responsible. No, no, I was one of the most responsible ones there. I kept my head down. I wasn't trying to get fired or nothing. But
someday you will. And
at
those
the
are
end,
the best
at the end of the
jobs.
day, I still got basically fired. What happened to me is that they stopped. They slowly reduced my days. And in 1 week, they didn't give me any hours. And then the next week, no hours. And then I got like one Saturday, and then no hours the next week. And then I just stopped getting hours.
That's the soft fire.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for you to just be like, alright, I guess I'll just find another job then.
Never got fired. Got my last paycheck in the mail. And I was like, okay, whatever.
Yep, it's good stuff.
I was going to quit anyway because I didn't
Yeah.
want to. I didn't really feel like working over the summer.
Who knows what kind of like weird shit that happened or whatever. It's probably like nepotism where they just brought in somebody else and just stopped putting you on the schedule, and it's like, alright, well, he's young.
Well, I know with like corporate jobs like that, where it's like a big chain, they'll usually be given like a number of hours they're allowed to hand out for payroll anyway in like a length of time.
Right.
So if they're like, we only have 30 hours this week to hand out to employees, so like who's gonna be coming back at the end of the week anyway? And they're like, not this guy.
I think what happened
Yeah,
is
just-
that like I think it was because I got really sick for like 2 weeks, and so it just apparently broke all trust in me. No, oh yeah, it was. I got really
Yeah.
sick.
This guy can't
I
use
got
the
really
freezer.
sick for 1 week,
Yeah.
and then literally the next like 2 weeks later, I dislocated my knee and couldn't walk. So I literally couldn't work if I wanted to.
Oh
This
yeah.
guy's falling apart at retail work. Don't give him
And so
hours.
whenever I was healed, I
Yeah.
got like a few more Saturdays or Sundays, and then they just stopped.
He went downstairs. You can use your X-ray vision.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the downstairs.
But I wasn't really surprised
Oh,
because
that way.
the head manager,
Turn left. The other,
she was
yeah,
the
that
type of
way.
manager that
Oh,
Go
said,
down and turn right. Down this staircase.
This is
Or there.
to the kennels. Okay, that's what I was like. Is this? I forgot there was stairs down there.
she was the type of manager that would
Good
hammer
call.
into you. You're replaceable. She did that
So
crap.
sneak up and knock him out, and then pick him up.
Oh, are you taking them on a joyride?
Yeah. Yeah, you got him. There you go. Now you bring him upstairs to the chokey. And get all his shit, too. He's got goodies. He hoards all his forbidden shit. For being the high overseer, he's got a lot of sacrilegious
Yeah.
biz.
It's like an inquisitor.
That's
But
exactly
yeah, in
it.
my first month, she basically said to everybody in the store, "Y'all are all replaceable, so it doesn't really matter what you do." And I lost all respect for her.
Yeah, but she's being real with you.
Well, no, it was.
I've had that
just
shit
like,
happen before.
It wasn't that. It was. I can understand being real with me, but no, it was like over. Like she was angry at somebody. That's what it was. She was angry at somebody, and she said that. I was like, "Oh, I don't care about you anymore. Don't put."
Yeah, usually shift managers don't have their
Don't
shit
put me
together.
on a shift
Right.
with her. I don't want to. I want to work with her.
They're like the epitome of middle management. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're basically just the version of employees that, are going to show up. So when you're like a key holder at a retail or any kind of like service job, like the key holders are just the employees you actually want, and the other ones are just like people that you're trying to find out if they can show up to like 2 shifts in a row
Right.
without being like hungover or whatever. And then the shifts you just
Like, I don't
get
even know what
shit
happened
on.
to her because like
yeah, you keep going.
I know she
around.
fired Hector because she didn't feel like
Turn
dealing with
left.
him anymore. And then
Yeah, you got.
and then one of the other managers, she went back to college and then became an eye doctor. But I wouldn't be surprised if the shift manager is still there doing whatever.
It could be. I mean, some people, that's like enough hustle for them. Like you get to be like, shift and you get the same hours every week and the pay is enough to cover like whatever expenses you have and you don't hate the job, then like that's your hustle and that's fine.
Right.
All I know is that whenever
Like some people really don't give a shit about like, achieving when they're like, if I can eat and afford everything I want, why would I want to do more? Like I don't derive satisfaction from work like that. I
yeah.
play games.
All I know is that whenever they eventually stopped giving me hours, it was being real weird because people were going like we were losing people, gaining people left and right, and then one of the fry cooks who had worked for like maybe a month, he got risen to the position of manager. I'm like, what's happening here? And then I just got stopped. I stopped being giving.
Good ass kissing.
I stopped getting shifts, so I was like, okay, whatever.
But that's what I was saying. Like a lot of that, in my experience, it ends up where it's just fucking nepotism, and it's like somebody's cousin, or nephew, or little brother, or whatever. And they're like, "Come on, like they're a hard worker. Like give them this opportunity or chance or whatever." And then they get the job, and they usually take it fucking for granted, and everybody else gets shit on, and it kind of sucks. But like I said, that's from my experience anyway.
It was fun though when I worked there, scaring some of the high schoolers that came in, because they see me behind the fountain, and they think, "Oh, this is a fully grown man," and I'm like, I'm 16, dude. I remember there was like,
Yeah, I said that too, and he told me how old you are. I was like, Jesus Christ, like you're a big boy, man.
there was a
I've been through that too.
there was a guy
believe
on
me.
the Jesus Christ, look at that. There was a
Got
guy
him.
on the football team, a senior for
Sizzly bacon.
for a high
Neutralize
school
your
that was
ass.
nearby. And whenever I told him my age, he's like, "What the hell? I thought you were a grown ass man." That's deep. Oh my god, that brand's deep.
Yeah. Got his ass.
Yeah, you really stabbed it in there.
I think I got all the doohickeys out of here too.
It's still weird to me that some ranchers still brand their cattle.
Yeah. I guess they like the tradition of it.
Yeah.
And they don't really give a shit about hurting.
Like there are so
cattle.
many different methods nowadays they can do. Like tagging their ears is a simple one. Putting the chips in, yeah.
Chipping them.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of fucked up stuff that still happens out on
Oh, yeah.
farms that a lot of people don't talk about, like, neutering baby pigs when they come out, man. Like, that shit is rough, dude.
Do you know how they do how they neuter sheep? Because there's a
I mean,
tradition to it where they raise the sheep up and then they bite them off with their mouth.
Ugh.
and that's apparently the traditional
I mean,
way to
yeah.
do
that
it.
sounds like some Florida bullshit.
Yeah, Scottish and Irish too.
They just fucking for like.
Well, it's shepherding.
Well,
Like
that's what I was talking
that
about
traditional-
with the pigs, because like with that they just fucking pinch and twist and then pull it off. You know, like
Yeah.
God damn.
Well, the problem ends up being like the official method you're supposed to do is you put a zip tie on it, and you just slowly start cinching the zip tie over weeks,
Yeah.
tighter and tighter until eventually it just falls off on
like
its
an
own.
umbilical cord.
But the problem is it hurts like hell for
So
a
it's just
really
faster
long
to
time,
just
and it makes
do
the
something
animal
else.
miserable. It causes infections and. Like, basically, those weird-ass shepherds that are like, I'm going to bite this lamb's balls off.
Right.
Like, it's one and done and over, and, like, they never get infections from it. That's the argument for it.
Right, and it's
Like,
and,
I don't know the
and
actual...
That's what they said with the book that I was reading about the pig stuff, where it's like, yeah, it's gruesome, it's bloody, the pig screams for like 5 minutes, but then it's done, and then you can clean it up, cinch the wound, and the pig forgets all about it and runs around. And it's like, I don't know if the pig
quick
forgets
like a
about
baby.
it, but like,
Check your heart.
yeah. I should just have the two that were in there that I got. Oh no. Good call.
My lad, I got you.
Good call.
Get you some goodies. But yeah,
hello.
like, people have been, like, raising sheep for centuries, so I'm really, inclined to believe that most of them have their shit together on it.
Shit.
Well, yeah, like, despite what people think about it, humane or not, like, they probably know the best and quickest way to do it without actually causing harm to the animals, because despite what people think, usually the ranchers and the herders or whatever probably care more about the animal than anyone else.
Right.
Yeah, like, I trust them to give a shit about their animals because, humanity's successfully been herding sheep and cattle for, like, millennia. So I don't think, like, we're going to really reinvent the wheel when it comes to, like, how do you keep sheep? But the things that I would be more concerned about would be things like, how do you, have these livestock without completely depleting the land? Because now suddenly you need 10,000 heads of cattle
Right.
to, like, make ends meet.
And there was actually something I was watching about that too for using the same acreage, because a lot of times, like, yeah, you need a bunch of land for the cattle to roam around on it, but there's a thing going around with cattle ranchers now that are talking about, like, you just section off 1 acre at a time, and you move your cows over there and let them graze, and then the next day shift to the next acre and let them graze, and that keeps, like, the grass all at the same level. They don't overeat in one area or, like, or undereat and stuff, and it's a lot more. What's the word I'm looking for?
Not humane.
Sustainable. No, it's a lot more sustainable.
Yeah.
To do it over time, but the problem is it takes a lot more work on the farmers and a lot of times the people that are arguing against it are the ones that don't want to do the extra work. They'd rather just have the land, let the cattle roam, and then when they need them, just go and go pick them up and then slaughter.
It's also
them.
just that
So
doing it that way does not produce as much cattle as what's demanded. Because you could just use all the land,
but
a certain more cattle, and just whatever.
Yeah, but there's also, it's another thing that I was talking about before, where it's like, 40 years ago, salmonella wasn't really a thing, and it wasn't until we needed to make so much chicken available that every man, woman, child in America could eat chicken for 3 meals a day, 7 days a week, where we started to run into problems like salmonella, and you know what I mean? And it's like,
they've had salmonella since the 1600s, though.
yeah, but not in.
Well,
not,
it's the thing that in the U.S. is just
they didn't
that
have
it's
to
like,
worry about it like
their
here,
farming is
where how
nowhere
it's,
near
it's so
as clean
dangerous
as
and
it could- as
poisonous
it
and
could
it's
be.
everywhere.
because like
Right.
I know specifically in Japan because I have all this Japan knowledge.
And that's what I was
Hell
gonna
yeah.
say too. Yeah, back in Japan, you can eat fucking
You
chicken
could eat
sashimi.
raw eggs because it's
Right.
so regulated and so like overly checked that there is not salmon. They're like basically salmonella doesn't exist in Japan.
Well, that and like the people that are growing the chickens have had those chickens for generations, and it's only a few chickens that they raise at a time, and they raise them from chicks up to full grown, and they control what they eat and drink and blah blah blah.
Even
blah,
after
blah.
that, the eggs are checked multiple times to make sure that they're safe and they're treated.
Right. So I don't know. It's just it's a lot of everybody could do things better and this and that and the third, but it would be easier if people learned to live without sometimes, but nobody really wants that. You know what I mean? And the ones that do, everyone else is like, well, good for you. You can live without then. I'll just eat your portion. And it's like, okay, that's the wrong attitude.
For me, it's like I'm fine as long as it tastes good. So like I've gotten real into the what's it called, the non-meat products recently because it just tastes good. So I'm like, I don't care.
Oh, I'm still on the hunt for finding that plant-based chorizo. Like I heard it's a thing, and I want to find it so
I've seen
bad.
it.
I know.
You want me to
Plant-based
go to the
chorizo?
grocery
That
store,
sounds
buy you
amazing.
some,
Yeah.
and send it to you?
So the fucking,
I mean, if it keeps.
yeah,
Usually
just
most
like
of it
put
keeps
some
pretty
freeze-dried,
well,
some freeze-dried, or what's it called, freeze-dried ice or whatever in there. You'll be
As long as
good.
it's cold enough, it should
That
be
shit
fine.
lasts forever. Get a cheap styrofoam igloo container, wrap it in tape, put some fucking dryer ice in there, and you're good to go.
I can just ask good old Daddy Amazon.
Oh yeah,
sure.
probably.
Daddy.
Get it
Daddy
straight from the
Amazon.
source with Amazon.
You're right. And if they don't have it now, just wait a week, and I'm sure somebody's working on delivering it right to your door.
Wow, Amazon is just autofilling aggressively.
I literally just found plant-based chorizo on Amazon right now. I see it.
There you go. So all that searching that you were looking for, and you
Meatless
found it.
soy chorizo.
Yep.
Meatless soy chorizo. Yeah, let me know how that works. That would be pretty awesome.
If it tastes like chorizo, but it doesn't like squish out like 15 pounds of red oil, I'll be ecstatic.
Yeah, exactly.
That is the problem.
That's my always my cheat. That was what sold me on it when I wanted to get it. When people are like, "Oh yeah, plant chorizo is amazing," because when you cook with it, you don't have to like drain like a whole water balloon of red oil from it.
Do you have the Exxon Valdez in your fucking kitchen when you're finished?
Ugh. Yeah, because I love the taste. Chorizo tastes
Yeah, like
great.
I found that with the plant-based
It's super
meat,
yum- Oh,
plant-based
there's
meats that I've
dried
tried,
chorizo.
is that they won't be like you won't get like a 1-to-1, but they'll be close enough to where it's like if it tastes good and it's close enough, I don't care.
Yeah,
Right.
like I just use it to make tacos anyway.
Yeah,
And at that point, like, I'm not tasting the difference because it's in a taco.
yeah. With other seasonings and like some cheese and some lettuce and stuff. So
Yeah, like they're not going to impress me with like a T-bone steak simulated with plants because that's really relying on the meat being great.
I don't know,
But when
man.
it's like taco and it's like, listen, there's a lot of things happening in this taco. And I don't think the quality of the meat is really going to make or break this taco that's happening right now. Like I've eaten tacos where the meat fell out of the back and I still
Yeah,
think it
you
was,
don't
like
like taco meat. Like you can get away with a lot.
Like the Taco Bell principle. Like if F-grade meat works, you can put a plant in there. Thanks for watching Leftovers, everybody. We'll be back next time.
yeah. Next episode for you, probably a couple weeks
Yep.
for us.
Back with more chorizo talk.
Have a good night, everybody.